Just in case. All right, everybody. Hello. My name is Chris Froyce, as he said. I am working on a multi-title, multi-genre gaming series entitled Legends of Saviors, but now it's also called Project Stark, for like when I have to put something on Twitter. And when someone hears Stark, they think of Game of Thrones or something, but it has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. It just helps in the Google searches. It's not spelled the same. Where you, within the first few titles, you take on the ensemble cast of cosmic angels known as Buntians on a, jeez, I practice this every damn day. On a quest to balance out the ever-encroaching chaos that is consuming the lands. Sounds generic, sounds kind of cliche, it is, but some of the ideas that are kind of fueling the project are going to be kind of unique. As for my goals, I had to complete the second historical and cultural phase of Cigna, which is the 5th playable planet within the first RPG, and it will also be used as a background for the fighting game, etc. And this is after the alpha species, when they became mortal. Last time I talked about the alpha species a little bit, where it's a species of sentient beings that don't necessarily die, and they have kind of like godlike powers. And then at a certain point in history, every single planet within this area, the alpha species on those planets, they lose their mortality, they lose their powers, they're rendered mortal. So their bodies within a few years kind of transform to have these certain organs, they kind of split into different genders, they kind of almost evolve within just a few years. With that being said, what they had done is they started to kind of mine these little K crystals. They're called K shards, K slivers, they have many different names. And they started using that as a certain technology. I'm not going to get too much of the history of these planets. It's just too much to say. But suffice to say, they go from being obsessed with life and obsessed with trying to create a way to become immortal again. So they create a type of preservation movement where they use the technology to create a kind of biomechanical material that kind of fuses together the atoms of the machinery they create and the natural elements around them to create almost a perfect, always living kind of environment, like grass that is kind of biomechanical, if you can kind of imagine that. So that's why I kind of made it kind of look natural here. And then as up here, when the texture's going to be on there in a minute, it's going to show more of a very machinery type of place where throughout the history, the man that's in charge, he's not a man, he has no gender, he's kind of a god still. He creates all this technology for thousands of years and just keeps becoming more and more uniform, more and more authoritarian. And that kind of becomes the demise of the planet, which I'll show in phase 3. As for my other goals, I got to play test my prototype again. I got to do the brawl for all mode where everyone gets to play against each other. And Awen, was it fun? Do you feel okay?
I liked it.
I got to play with 2 other people, and they said it was pretty fast paced and fun, and had no problems with the balancing of the characters with that. So that was awesome. So as for my goals for this coming week, I'm going to finally finish the 5 main planets, which I've been working on for 3 or 4 months. I'm going to finish the 3rd phase of Cigna. I'm also going to work on the last portrait I need for my prototype, because I created 5 different character cards with 5 different just basic Photoshop portraits of the 5 main characters. And I got 1 more to go. Yay. Let's see, because I've been trying to do at least 3 goals a week. The other goal is I might start on the 6th playable area. I'm not even going to go into that. It's not even a planet. It's more of a crystalline star that emits radiation and has extreme gravity but doesn't really emit light. It's very strange. And yeah, I mean, the only troubles I've really come across is time. All these Photoshop things take hours, and I don't know if I'm not paying attention or if I kind of just fall asleep midway, but I mean, it all seems to come out at the end. But this is helping me actually learn to use my time appropriately, so that's definitely something I needed. Because I'm kind of like Peter Molyneux and all them. I go off the deep end. As you
Yes.
can already see. But yeah, that's about it. So that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.